give me a minute.
Hey, did you see an inner two go by here just now?
Yeah, it just went that way about a minute ago.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
Hello, you beautiful people. We all possess beauty, whether it be outer beauty, such as in the exquisite, delicate rose, or inner beauty, such as in the inspiring, soulful music. This type of beauty can be referred to simply as inner. Welcome to Inner Tube. I'm Brian Wolf. Although I love my last name, it has a certain majestic bestiality. I prefer it when people are more informal and just refer to me as good looking. Although, unfortunately, this rarely happens. So, just Brian is fine. We've got a lot of enjoyment for you today on The Inner Tube.
First, we've got an exciting interview with rock star Ted Nugent.
I figure whatever you're going to do, you might as well do it all the way, because if anything's worth getting into, it's worth giving all your attention to and focusing on that given endeavor to the point where you can apply your energies and your capabilities to making sure that you maximize the potential of any given endeavor.
Then we've got some beautiful nature scenes mixed in with an intriguing interview of a very intelligent gentleman, Bob Griswold of Effective Learning Systems.
I always recommend that people project love to others, because when you do, you keep the original, you just send out a copy. So you're helping yourself even more than the other person. And it probably will influence your tone of voice. You might smile a little bit more, and you're going to feel more comfortable with that person. You're going to be more relaxed, more spontaneous. You'll be able to express yourself more effectively. The thoughts will flow more easily. And the other person is going to feel more comfortable with you. And people like to be with people they're comfortable with.
I'm sure you'll all be quite entertained, for after all, it's you that we made the show for. But what can we here at the Inner Tube really know about you? First of all, we know that you're either male or female. This greatly determines through which archetypical value systems you interpret outside stimuli, and also where you shop for underwear. I do think that the basis for true equality of the sexes is evolving in contemporary society, but I'll still probably never buy a brassiere. What else can we here know about you there? Well, you're likely between the ages of 1 and 100. If you're 1, you're probably sitting in front of the TV set and drooling. If you're 100, you're probably sitting in front of the TV set and drooling. What are some of the other ages that you might be? Well, let's say you're 60. You're just entering your golden years. You finally got the house mortgage and the kids' college education's paid off, and now you can invest in precious metals. How about if you're 40 or 50? You've worked long and hard to realize the promise of true happiness contained within the American way of life. All you got to worry about are death, taxes, and whether your car and lawn measure up to the neighbors. How about if you're 30? You're probably just beginning to appreciate your own family and what kind of hell you put your parents through when you were a kid. And if you're 20, much like myself, in fact, you're probably bright-eyed, enthusiastic, and underemployed. And if you're 10, what a wonderful age. You're fun-loving, full of joy, and you're more than satisfied with just enough money for a can of pop. Your only problems are the local bullies and reaching that top shelf. But no matter what age you are, the important thing is to enjoy yourself.
Well, I don't know about you there, Horace, but I'm having quite a good time. Verily, verily, what jolly good show, eh, what?
We'll be talking a little bit more about enjoying yourself later on in the program. But now we have our first interview guest on the Inner Tube, a man that's been cranking out rock and roll music for more than 15 years. The Motor City Madman, Ted Nugent. Although Ted comes from a world that's filled with drugs, sex, unruly crowds, and frenzied musicians, he's developed an intelligent and admirable philosophy about life. Plus, he's rich and famous. So let's listen in on what Ted Nugent has to say. Ted, I'll be at your concert tonight. I know a lot of my friends will be.
It's good for you.
Okay. Everyone loves you, Ted.
Everyone?
Well, everyone at the concert will.
I guarantee you.
What's your power that you got over that audience?
It's called rock and roll. It's called rock and roll. It's a guaranteed thing. It's a non-stop thing. It always goes on. It's always good for you. It's good, clean fun. It's non-stop boogie woogie. It happens all the time. It's a good, clean thing. Especially tonight. Tonight's going to be the ultimate thing. You know what I do? I come into Minneapolis. I come into St. Paul. I go around everywhere I go, you know, and we just drop the hammer. And it's good for you. I like it. I enjoy it.
Great, great. What's the
flawless?
Okay, you're out there cranking, dropping the hammer. What's the source of all that energy you crank up?
I don't know. I just crave it. You know, I'm a rock and roll fan. I just happen to be able to put into use my cravings for rock and roll. And in the process of applying these energies to rock and roll, I have a good time. And I think anybody who likes rock and roll will have a good time, you know, joining me in it. That's all there is to it. I just like it so much that it draws out all my capabilities and all the potentials of my energies. And I just apply them, you know.
When you were young, did you have that same lust for rock and roll?
Brian, when I was young, I'm just entering my second prime.
Okay.
I'm still young. I'm just a boy. You know, when I was really just a tad, just a little sconcho dude, man, I was like 7 years old when I started playing guitar. You know, there was the Ventures and Lonnie Mack and James Brown and all those, you know, electric guitar rock and roll songs that were just surfacing in those days, because electric guitars just started coming to the forefront of music, and that's how rock and roll was created, with an electric guitar, basically. And so I was motivated, inspired by all the rock and roll that was available then, the Chuck Berry type era, you know. So I got my teeth sunk into it pretty deep in the beginning. And from that time on, I dug it so much, it was just a matter of rechanneling my cravings for it from just a viewer to someone who's actually participating in the making of the music, to, you know, playing the licks by practicing them on the guitar. I liked it, you know, I had a good time.
So you found some guys, and got together and started a band?
Yeah, just a bunch of boys. You know, I had my first band in Detroit when I was about 11 years old. We played at the Michigan State Fairgrounds in Detroit. We played the Polish Art Festival, I think. And that was good. We played Boogie Woogie and Honky Tonk and Perfidia and Walk Don't Run and all those little licks, you know. It was good, I liked it. Young Ted was digging it.
Really?
Yeah.
I know you get into rock and roll so deeply. Do you get into life the same way?
I figure whatever you're going to do, you might as well do it all the way, because if anything's worth getting into, it's worth giving all your attention to and focusing on that given endeavor to the point where you can apply your energies and your capabilities to making sure that you maximize the potential of any given endeavor. And I only do a few things in life, you know. I raise my children, I rock and roll, and I hunt and I fish. And I like to go off in the mountains and stuff, four-wheel driving. And like at the end of this tour, we finish up this tour in Detroit, which is the greatest place to end up anything, man. And I head for the woods, Jack, and you couldn't find me with Cochise and a sack of flour once I'm done. I mean, I am in the woods, you know what I mean? I'm like humping oak trees, you know. And I just hunt and fish, and I live off the land for 4 months a year in the fall and winter.
So you're not on tour that time?
No.
Okay, taking it easy?
Well, yeah, it's relaxing, it's very peaceful for me, but my idea of taking it easy is getting up about 4 in the morning, getting my decoys set out on the lake and waiting for the geese to come in, you know, snagging a few for dinner. So even when I am relaxing, it's very relaxing for me to pursue the outdoor activities which I become involved with intensely. You know, like I said, you might as well really apply all your capabilities to any pursuit you're in the process of. And when I'm driving off-road vehicles, I like to have the nastiest vehicle I can. I like to, you know, try to get stuck and try to destroy the vehicle. And really go places that no white men have tread, you know. And when I'm hunting, I like to use the bow and arrow or a handgun. And I like to sneak up on them babies and choke them, you know. I like to really hunt like a predator, you know, like a cat or a wolf or something. And I find that by applying your intense capabilities to any given thing that you're involved with, like rock and roll, you might as well rock your brains out. With hunting, you might as well sneak right up on them. With four-wheel drive racing, you might as well just put that baby to the floor and go gonzo. You know, whatever you do, you should go all the way, I think.
So you would say to anyone like my age or who would watch the show, just go after it.
Go nuts.
Just with a panic.
Yeah, drop the almighty hammer, man. The name of the game is Gonzolitis personified. You know, live it up. You know, the name of the game is get up in the morning and cook, you know, start cruising. That's what I like to do anyhow. I'm not preaching it to anybody, but if anybody wants to really get the most out of life, that's what I'd recommend.
So that's how you built the Ted Nugent we see today?
Well, I guess that's what happened, yeah. I didn't think much about it, but the ongoing saga dictates those conclusions, I think. Yeah, I like to live it up.
Okay. Thank you very much,
Don't
Ted.
mention it. It's my pleasure.
Hi. Ted's philosophy is to overwhelm with enthusiasm, to get up in the morning and cook, to drop the almighty hammer and go gonzo in order to maximize the potential of any given endeavor. Our next guest on the inner tube has devoted his life to teaching people to do just that. Not in those exact words, of course. His name is Bob Griswold, and he's founder and president of Effective Learning Systems. He has a list of credentials that is amazing. He's a graduate of the University of Illinois and has been president of 3 successful corporations. Since 1971, Bob has taught thousands of people techniques for relaxation, memory, creative thinking, problem solving, controlling habits, self-image, and goal achievement.
His experience includes 5 years as Minnesota's licensed state director of the Mind Control Program. He has authored and presented several successful courses, tape programs, and workshops, and is currently writing a book on the development of human potential. He served as a committee member and consultant to the Science Museum of Minnesota and the Human Development Institute, and as vice president and program chairman of the Minnesota Futurists. He's a member of the Association of Humanistic Psychology, the Minnesota Council on Health, the American Society for Training and Development, and the National Speakers Association. He had a lot of insightful thoughts on how we can all enjoy our lives more. And we've mixed that with some beautiful spring scenes in a piece we've entitled
One thing we can do is learn to live in the here and now and enjoy each present moment. Enjoy each person. You know, I'm here with you two now, and I'm enjoying you. I'm enjoying the fact that I'm healthy now. I wasn't always healthy. I enjoy that now. You know, most of the time in the past, the only time I ever appreciated health was when I was sick. Then it was everything, and money was nothing compared to health. When I was healthy, I ignored it, like it had no significance. We do the same thing with friends. When our loved ones are gone, when they've died or they're far away, that's when we appreciate them. But do we fully appreciate them and enjoy them when they're right here? Well, I've learned to do that now. I enjoy the person I'm with. I enjoy that moment. I enjoy my health right now. I'm determined to be happy now because that's the only way I know of to be assured of being happy in the future. I'm much more likely to be happy in the future if I'm happy now. But people are often postponing happiness. They'll say, I'll be happy if this happens or if that happens. I'll be happy if I get that job, or I'll be happy if I get an A on the course, on the test, or pass the course, or I'll be happy if I graduate. I'll be happy if I get the promotion or get the raise. I'll be happy if I get married, or I'll be happy if I get a divorce. It's like there's always something that has to happen before we're going to be happy. And the only way I know to be happy in the future is to be happy now. You got to start somewhere. And there are a lot of things to be happy about right now. I'm happy about my health right now. I know there are problems in the world, and I'm concerned about those things, but I can be happy and concerned at the same time. In fact, I'm better prepared to do something about the problems in the world if I enjoy my health and I maintain my health, if I maintain a positive attitude. But if I allow myself to become defeated, I'm not contributing to anybody. We reach people that we never even see. We don't even know they exist. For example, without any particular techniques, you could influence a lot of people each day, and you do. If you are very supportive and friendly and give sincere compliments to someone, that someone doesn't let it stop there. That someone will pass that on to other people, and probably several people, and each of those will pass it on to several others, and each of those to several others. So you've started a chain reaction that reaches people that it could be hundreds, could be even thousands of people. And we're influencing people like that right now. Now, once we recognize that we have that kind of power, that we do influence people, we're less likely to be negative in our influence and let that negative chain reaction start, because it does reach out. You are indirectly influenced by someone that you've never seen or heard of, just by how that's passed on to you. So we're all influencing the way this world is right now. We all have a responsibility. So if we start with our families, our friends, people we work with, and we communicate more effectively, more positively with them, that will in itself have a great positive influence on the world.
So you see our immediate relationships as building blocks for a higher society?
Yes, I do. Love is a great way to get yourself into a positive frame of mind. And what I mean by that is you can project love to other people, and in doing so, change your outlook. So many things happen. I always recommend that people project love to others, because when you do, you keep the original, you just send out a copy. So you're helping yourself even more than the other person. And it probably will influence your tone of voice. You might smile a little bit more, and you're going to feel more comfortable with that person. You're going to be more relaxed, more spontaneous. You'll be able to express yourself more effectively. The thoughts will flow more easily. And the other person is going to feel more comfortable with you. And people like to be with people they're comfortable with. They'll be able to express themselves more effectively. So the communication is improved. You're in a more positive frame of mind. When you're thinking of love, when you're projecting love, you're not going to be thinking negative thoughts. So this helps in itself. And we know this about our biology. When we're in a positive frame of mind, our white blood cell count is up, and this helps us to fight infection. When we're in a negative frame of mind, the white blood cell count goes down, and we're more susceptible to illness. So biologically, we're better off. Psychologically, we're better off if we project love, if we're in a positive frame of mind. Now, a lot of people feel uncomfortable at first with that thought because they're not so sure they want to project love to certain people. Maybe they enjoy disliking certain people, but it doesn't pay. We pay a price for projecting hatred because we keep that original too. We just send out a copy.
Is there a simple method for projecting love?
All I do is I say whatever I would normally say. I'm just being myself. But occasionally, in any encounter, and I'm doing it with you right now, I'm mentally projecting, I love you. Now, there's something lovable about everyone. I may not know everything about you, but I know there's some lovable qualities. I assume that. I make that assumption, and I project love on that basis. And it never fails. I always find something lovable about that person. And I was not always this way. I used to avoid people. I used to feel very uncomfortable with people, even people I knew very well. And I started projecting love, and I found myself comfortable with everybody, no matter where I am. And I can be more myself. And I can express myself. I can be even more assertive than I used to be, because when you establish a contract of love, when you establish that kind of environment where the other person feels accepted, they're more likely to accept constructive criticism. Whereas if you offer constructive criticism in a negative environment, they're going to be more defensive and less likely to accept that, and communication is broken down. When I was a very young boy, there was a popular song recorded by Nat King Cole. And let's see if I can give you the whole song, I think. But the line that really hit me was, "The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return."
All of us here at the Inner Tube hope you've enjoyed the show. I'd like to personally thank all the members of the Inner Tube staff. They've really worked hard and really done a super job. I'd like to leave you with a quote from one of the greatest men in our history, Abraham Lincoln, who said, "People are about as happy as they make up their minds to be." This is Brian Wolf from the Inner Tube saying, keep on rolling.
Bye.